This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
What in the world?
Hello, and this is the Joe Henry Show. No, what's up, guys? This is Primetime Blitz, brought to you by C2C Entertainment. I'm the host, Big B, along with my three fellow co-hosts here. We'll start with the guy up above, the rookie Kevin. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Just having a pretty tiring day, but we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I see that. And next to him, we got the man behind the mic. Looks like he's ready to fly a plane or call some offensive plays for the Cowboys. Mr. Crispy Bacon, how you doing?
I am doing good. Normally, I would probably, try to call some plays, but I think they're doing good right now.
All right, now next to me is my co-host from C2C Rankum. You saw him this morning along with myself, the Primetime Moose. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing good. A little tired, but that's just what happens when you wake up at 4:20 after 4 in the morning. But I'm excited. It's week six, and we're all ready to go. Allow me, the first person on this show, to wish one of our captains on our channel and our network, J-Mac, to a very happy birthday. He's not an old man until he passes my age.
Yes, happy birthday, J-Mac. It's still today. I know, Tim, you wished him a belated birthday because you're a day ahead of us. But
I also have a buddy who texted me today. He wants me to wish him a happy birthday as well. So happy birthday to Sawyer.
Right.
He watches our show every once in a while, so give him a shout out as well.
All right. Well, that's good to know. So, all right, guys, let's get into it. Week 5 recap. Kevin didn't have a game this week, but I know he's probably got a lot to say. But Tim, your Colts.
Oh, for this week or the recap of last week? Because whatever that wasn't a game. If you're a Raiders fan,
last week.
I apologize now because that was not fun for a Raiders fan. That was hilarious. Poor Ashton Ginty. That's all I have to say. The guy's the only bright spot on that team, but I thought it was great that we block a punt and basically kill the punter for the Raiders, and they thought for good measure, after you score a touchdown, they always make that say is, how would you like this win with one friggin' eye? And they decided to murder our field goal kicker. So other than that, I'm happy. Week 5 was fun.
Okay. Chris, how about you and your Cowboys?
Yeah, week 5 has been interesting. I'm glad we won against the Jets, but at the same time, now that game's over, you kind of feel bad for the Jets because they're the only team that doesn't have a win this season. I don't think they're going to get a win, but they might get one down the line. And been too bad.
and the Vikings squeaked one out on, as Tim would say, probably the perfect drive to end the game. To me, it was a so-so game. Good thing the kicking the field goal into the line or into the wires that were hanging low that cost them the game. But Browns showed that their defense was strong. So, like I said, I was scared going into that game. But Kevin, the Bears are off. So, what do you want to talk about for your recap for Week 5?
Other than going 4 for 10 on my picks, which is rough. On top of that, we got spanked in fantasy football. And then we also lost our first lock of the season. So Week 5 was not in my favor. So it's a pretty tough week.
Yeah. So, well, with that being said, let's get into it, guys. I mean, unless there's something else you guys want to bring up for Week 5, I think it was a hard week for all around. Unless your teams won, but I mean, the undefeateds went down. You still got an 0-5 Jets team. Nothing really stuck out to me Week 5. But with that being said, Chris, what's our lesson of the week?
We were talking about, I guess, last minute prep for the show. And I don't really have anything really.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We'll get something. We'll get there. But
Yeah.
Kevin, what's your one tough topic question?
Oh, yeah. Like I said earlier in the backstage, it was a pretty tiring day, so I kind of just winged it this week. But my question is, should the 49ers have waited to pay Purdy with the way Mac Jones is playing?
Jim, I'll let you talk because you've been on the kind of the Purdy bandwagon, predicted almost when he was going to start the year he came out. So, what's your thoughts?
You can't. I don't think it was too early. You can't predict injuries. That's the whole problem. I think I don't think he had a year left on his rookie contract. I think he had 2 years left on his rookie contract when he signed that extension. Might have been a little early. I think it might have been a year early, but at the time, you kind of had to lock him up because what he was doing was what warranted a new contract. I don't think it was early. And you can't predict what Mac Jones is going to do. And at the time when you signed the extension, you didn't have Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, outside of his rookie year in New England, I don't think he was really that strong of a possibility to be a starter. No, I don't think it was early. I don't think it was early at all.
Chris, what do you think?
I don't think it was early at all, but I if I remember that timeline, you don't want to wait until nothing happens or the contract expires, and it's kind of a balancing act, and I think they did it right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of tough. I mean, you're the last pick of the draft. You got built a good team. All you got to do is stay healthy and make plays and not make mistakes. And the quarterback's going to be the one that gets paid. I think if I was Purdy, I'd probably not take so much and just kind of play it by ear, let my team still be built. But like Tim said, you can't really plan for injuries. So they went out and got a decent backup of Mac Jones. He goes down, they're playing well. So this might help Mac Jones out. I mean, there's going to be teams next year looking for a quarterback. So we'll see. Kevin, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you said there. Yeah, I think Mac Jones is playing for his future. To hopefully get signed by another team, showing that he can be a versatile quarterback. And then as well as what Primus was saying, he hasn't really done anything until now.
Yeah.
So, it's it's good to see him getting the chance to prove himself as a quarterback. Unfortunately, they did, give Purdy that big old contract. So, for the way, Mac Jones, if he wants to, continue to, I guess, get playing time, is either, I guess, wait and keep being a backup and, play for injured quarterbacks, or if he continues to play the way he's playing, hopefully in the offseason he'll get paid by another team.
Yeah,
So,
that's the thing is, look at the quarterbacks that have played 1 year somewhere else. Sam Darnold gets paid somewhere else. So, but yeah, so good topic there. So one thing I want to talk about since, we got a few minutes here, on the Vikings game, I don't know if you guys saw, but the kick that hit the wires, NFL probably, I know they came out and said some things, but if the Vikings would have lost by 3, should they have replayed that and let them kick again, or they let the play stand? Tim, what do you think?
I think you have. I think it's like the baseball. I think it's like a baseball thing because if you hit the inner ring of like Tropicana Field, I think it's an automatic ground rule double. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they don't replay it. They don't replay it in baseball. I think didn't somebody hit the scoreboard in Dallas?
Yeah,
I
think so, on a punt. The first year that
and they didn't. I don't think they replayed that either.
They re-kicked.
Oh, they did re-kick? Well, then there you've got precedent. Then they should have let them re-kick it.
Okay. All right, Chris, what do you think?
Now, there's something similar in the Jets and Cowboys game. Yeah, there's something similar that happened during that game, the Jets and Cowboys, where a pass, I think, from New York hit the camera that goes across the field, and the Jets could have challenged that, but they didn't, and the NFL could look at it and say to redo it or not, but they never did.
Gotcha. Kevin?
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with everybody else there that they should have, if it were to have happened, they should have reviewed it and probably let him re-kick.
Yeah, I think so too, but I think Tim's kind of on the point where, if it hits, it's part of the field, but again, it's now happening more in football. Maybe they need to rethink that and get a ruling on there. So that being said, guys, let's get into week 6 picks. Right now we're sitting at ESPN is 55-22. They've hit 4 of their locks. They lost last week. I'm at 50-27. I've hit 3 locks. Chris and Tim are tied at 45-32. Chris has hit 1 lock. Tim has hit 3. Kevin, 46-31. You've hit 4 locks. And if Mess Around shows up, he's got 15 wins. He's just a little bit over 500. So with that being said, Chris, the first game we're going to talk about is tomorrow night, Thursday. Eagles, 7.5-point favorites, are 4-1 versus the Giants that are 1-4. Chris, who do you have?
I got the Giants winning this one. Hopefully, New York can, win at home and continue the, I guess, now losing streak of Philadelphia.
You got the Giants winning, you said? All right.
Yeah.
All right, Tim?
Wait, hold on. You're going to make that your lock? Just out of curiosity.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's already used his lock, by the way, on the Giants.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He did, didn't he? All right. I didn't call last week's game. I called the other team losing their undefeated streak. I think Eagles are going to go after the Giants. this is going to be a tough test for Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo. I think this is going to be I think the 7.5 points is warranted. I think this is going to be a 10-point game. I like the Eagles. I think they feel like they got embarrassed last week, and they're going to come in and I think they're going to take it to the Giants. So I've got the Eagles.
All right, Kevin.
I am also taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. I did have the Giants slighted in there, but I'm just like, God, the Eagles just lost. They're going to be upset. So I'm going Eagles. So, all right. So let's get into the Sunday games. We got Denver 3-2, 7.5 point favorites over the 0-5 Jets. Tim, who are you taking?
I'm going to paraphrase Brock Lesnar. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Jets.
Jets who?
Exactly. I'm going to take the Broncos.
All right, Kevin.
That was funny. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Broncos as well. You know, for some reason I feel like the Jets, they have a solid roster and everything, and I don't know what's going on with them. You know, I don't know why they can't pull out a win. I haven't really watched much of their games. I've caught bits and pieces, but it kind of looks like it might be their defense is the problem. But yeah, I'm gonna go the Broncos.
All right. I am going with the upset. I'm taking the Jets. They got the second most touchdowns scored behind, I think it was the Packers I saw. If they can find some way to stop Denver, I think this is going to be, their week. So we're going to go Jets on an upset. Chris?
I got the Jets too, and you mentioned Brock Lesnar a little bit ago. Just remember that crown jewel is that morning as well. I think an hour and a half beforehand.
Okay. Cool. Got something to watch at work. All right. Next game, we got the Cardinals at 2-3 versus the Colts at 4-1. Colts are 7.5 point favorites. Kevin, who you got?
I'm gonna take the Colts in that one.
All right. I am also taking the Colts in this one. Hopefully they keep it going strong. Chris?
I got the Colts in this one as well.
All right. Tim?
The Cardinals do something that's, they should have listened to Bacon after week 2 when Bacon says if you got the lead, you have to keep it. And the Cardinals can't do that. They play in close games and then they just decide to fumble it away or do something stupid or drop the ball at the goal line on the way in for the touchdown. The Colts are just offensively, they're just too powerful, I think. They're the 4th best offense in the league. We haven't had that since Luck's second year. This is going to be I don't want to say this is going to be ugly, but it's got the potential. I've got the Colts, but I think it's going to be by 15.
Okay. All right. And now next game, we got the Chargers 3-2, 3.5 point favorites over the Dolphins at 1-4. I'm going to take the Chargers. Dolphins look good on paper. They got good talent, but for some reason they just can't get it all clicking. So I'm going Chargers. Chris, who do you have?
And you said the Chargers game?
Dolphins. Yep, Chargers Dolphins.
I got the Dolphins in this one.
All right.
No, it's not my lot.
Tim.
I'm looking at this right now. They just put Amari and Hampton on the IR. But I think they got Najee. Right now they've got a third string running back in Los Angeles right now going up against Miami Dolphins, but the Miami Dolphins rush defense isn't the world's greatest. They're actually the 32nd rush defense. So if anybody's in fantasy football, please take the third running back in Los Angeles. Yeah, I think the Chargers are coming off a loss. Chargers lost last week, right? Yeah, they lost last week.
I believe so.
Are playing a very weak Miami Dolphins team. I think Herbert's gonna have a field day. I honestly do. I think this is Chargers, and I think it's gonna be big. No, this isn't my lock of the week either.
All right, Kevin.
I'm taking the Chargers as well, and mentioning taking the third string, I think I picked him up because I had Hampton in my fantasy football. So in our league, I had Hampton. So I traded for him, and then he goes down. So that's rough. But I think I either picked him up or I picked up Vidal. One of those two.
All right, so you take the Chargers. All right. So we got the Patriots 3-2, a 3.5-point favorites over the Saints, who are 1-4. Chris, who do you got in this game?
You know, New England's been looking pretty good last couple weeks. I'm going to go New England on this one.
All right, Tim.
When does the Spencer Rattler experiment finish? Because I think we should be going to Tyler Shuck pretty soon. I think Shuck is going to be starting in 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, I think he's going to be there. The Saints got lucky against the Giants. Real lucky against the Giants. They're not going to get lucky against Drake May and the Patriots. I've got the Patriots.
All right. Kevin.
Yeah, I got the Patriots as well.
All right. Well said there, Kevin. All right. So we got the Browns at 1-4 versus the Steelers, who are 3-1. Steelers are 5.5-point favorites. Tim, who do you have in that one?
This week, I'm going to channel my inner Bacon. It's a division game, so basically you always throw the records out, especially with AFC North division games. I've got the Cleveland Browns, and I have them as my lock of the week.
Mm-hmm. Browns as a lock. Kevin.
Well, I'm not going to leave you stranded. I'm taking the Browns as well, but I ain't going to take them as my lock.
Wow. Yeah, I was tossing turning with this one. I'm going to the Steelers. I want to see just another good week. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. So whichever defense can get the turnovers, I think is going to be the ones. Gabriel looked good against the Vikings. I'll tell you that. So I'm going to Steelers. It's going to be a close one. Maybe game of the week. Crispy.
I got Pittsburgh winning this one. I know Joe Flacco's not with the Browns anymore. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm going Pittsburgh.
All right. Next game, we got the Cowboys 2-1, 3.5-point favorites over the Panthers. I'm sorry, that are 2-3. Kevin.
I got the Cowboys in this one.
All right, kind of falling off that Panthers bandwagon a little bit, huh? I also have the Cowboys in this one.
If Rico Dowdle plays like he did last week, Cowboys could lose this.
Yeah. Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, former Cowboy Rico Dowdle with Carolina. I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Tim?
Well, it's an even week, right? It's just so I know. What do the New England what do the Dallas Cowboys do on even weeks in the season? They go to overtime. I'm taking a tie.
Are you serious?
All right.
Okay. We'll see if that one pulling a mess around there. We're going to have to call it a mess around one. Speaking of that, looks like so you're just in time for the Cowboys Patriots there, mess around if you're with us. Who you taking?
Cowboys Panthers.
Panthers, I'm sorry.
Which game is
Cowboys Panthers.
Panthers Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going with Cowboys. Give me.
All right, go with the Cowboys. So you can send me your picks later for the other games that we don't cover or have already covered. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks 3-2, 1.5 point favorites over the Jags. I'm taking the Jags in this one. They're looking pretty decent right now through 5 weeks. So I got Jags. Chris?
Jaguars have been looking pretty good. They got a good win last week against the Chiefs. I'm going Seattle, though. I'll make this one my lock.
Going Seattle and the lock. All right. Tim?
Yeah, I'm liking what Jacksonville's doing. I think they've been my surprise team of the year so far. Yeah, I'm going to take Jacksonville. As much as it pains me to pick them, being tied with them in the AFC South, it pains me. But yeah, I definitely have to take the Jaguars.
Kevin?
Well, I got sniped by crispy bacon there. I'm taking the Seahawks, and they're also going to be my lock.
Wow. Double lockup. Mess around. Who you have? Seattle or the Jags?
So it's basically like a hobby game.
Mess around, you there? Might be having some bad signal there.
Yeah,
so.
can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, now we can.
Okay.
Who you got?
What game are we talking about now?
Seattle versus the Jags.
What are we talking about?
Seattle Jags.
I'm going with the Jags.
With the Jags, okay.
Give me the Jags.
All right. Next game, we got the Titans 1-4 versus the Raiders 1-4. Raiders are favored by 3.5. Chris, who do you have?
Hopefully they win a game. I got the home team, Vegas.
Go. Tim?
Oh, I've seen both of these teams this year. I honestly don't remember who I picked. Oh, I remember who I picked. I think. Oh, golly! I think I used my tie too soon. Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans.
All right. Kevin?
Yeah, like Primus was saying, I mean, I think these are two of the worst offenses in the league. If you want to talk about watching paint dry, it's going to be this game. I almost want to say I want to go with the tie, but I have to give it to the Titans. Light.
All right. Mess around.
Okay, I'm about to
I'm going to
back.
go with the. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think Chanty has a good game. He gets off, he scores 3 touchdowns and win.
Wait,
All right.
let me try.
I'm too torn,
Okay.
but I'm going Titans in this one. I think we're going to see a little bit Cam Ward, maybe a breakout game. Maybe that's what he needs against this bad defense, but we're going Titans. We got the Bengals 2-3 with Joe Flacco as their quarterback. The Packers 2-1 14.5 point favorites. Primus, who are you disappointing?
Oh,
That's
this is remember with the Cleveland Browns game. I made the comment that the Packers played down to their opponents and then turned around and lost on a last-second field goal to the Browns. Oh my God! And the funny thing is, I'm going to say this, and it's not going to be the hot take of the decade on this one. The Browns are a better team than the Bengals. They just are. Without Joe Burrow, the Bengals are terrible.
where?
I'm going to take the Packers, but I think this is going to be a close game again.
All right, you're taking the Packers. Kevin?
Yeah, like Primus said again. I think Jamar Chase is due for a blowout game here. He's gonna go crazy. But I gotta take the Packers.
All right. Mess around. I know you don't take the Packers, but let's make it official.
Yeah, I never go with the Packers. I think this would be awesome. I don't know if it's ever been done before, but Joe Flacco could beat the Packers with two different teams in 1 year.
Yep.
I think he's making history. And I want to see it. I'm saying it's going to happen. I'm going with the Bengals as my lock too.
Oh, you're going Bengals with the lock. I like it. Not so much that I didn't take it as my lock, but I got the Packers. I think this is going to be a game again. Like the Packers could play down, and they have played down. So if Flacco can connect with those receivers and use those weapons, Browns could take the upset. But I'm still going Packers. Chris?
Yeah, it doesn't help in the standings for us, but I'm going Packers.
Okay. All right. And you're going Packers. All right. Next game we got is the 49ers 4-1 versus the Bucs 4-1. Bucs are favored by 2.5. Kevin, who do you have in this game?
This is which game again?
Niners versus the Bucs.
I almost don't want to, bet against Mac Jones because I did it last week and lost. But I'm taking the Bucs.
All right. And I am taking the Bucs. I'm making it my lock this week. So good luck to them. Chris.
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay as well. Both teams have been playing well. Tampa's been having heroic, comebacks, and 49ers have been just, riding the season with injuries, but playing really well.
All right, I skipped mess around on that one. Mess around, who are you taking?
I was with you. I almost took the Bucs as my lock, but I wanted to go with the Bengals. So, but I'm going to stay with the Bucs. I think the Bucs win. I just trust Mayfield more than I trust Mac Jones. Eventually, he's going to come back down to earth to be the Mac Jones that we all know and love.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, I got Tampa. I can't take the 49ers. I got the Bucs because of Baker Mayfield. I like that. I like the Bucs.
All right. This is probably going to be the game of the week, maybe Super Bowl matchup preseason wise. We got the Detroit Lions 4-1 versus the Kansas City Chiefs 2-3. Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. Messer, I'll let you start with this one. Who are you taking?
I like Kansas City in this game only because they really need this win more than the Lions do. They need to right the ship and get, we say this every year about Kansas City, they're going to fall off and they look bad and then they turn it around in the second half. So I think this is where it starts for them in this game. They turn it around right here.
Yep, I would too. Kansas City does need the game, but that Lions defense, offense, I mean, who would have thought? We were talking about this at work. Jared Goff being probably the best quarterback, top 5, definitely best quarterback in the North. I mean, I got the Lions in this one. I think it's going to be a good game. Chris?
Yeah, it's interesting how, when Goff first came to the NFL, he was drafted. A lot of us didn't like Goff and, thought he was bad where he was at, and he's playing really well. Unfortunately, I got the Chiefs in this one. And did we do the Baltimore? Did we do the Baltimore Rams game? I can't remember.
No, we haven't. Did I miss a game?
Yeah, I think it missed the Baltimore Rams game. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So let's finish up with this game here. Tim?
Detroit just put Terry and Arnold and DJ Reed on the IR, which is two of their defensive backs that they need right now. That would make that Their secondary is struggling. I didn't see that until just now. I'm still taking the Lions, but this game's going to be a lot closer than I thought it was originally.
All right. Kevin, who you have?
Well, I think with Mahomes getting his favorite target back this week in Rashee Rice, I think that I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one.
All right. So let's get into the game I missed. My fault there, guys. We got the Rams 3-2 versus the who are 7.5-point favorites over the Ravens, who are 1-4. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. Chris, who are you taking?
Any other given week, I'd probably pick Baltimore, but they just haven't looked the same, and I'm going to pick the Rams.
All right. Tim.
Yeah, this is a team that definitely needs Lamar Jackson. You're seeing it more and more and more. I've got the Rams, and they better hope that Lamar comes back soon.
Kevin?
Yeah, I got the Rams as well. I think without Lamar, this offense is atrocious.
All right. And mess around. Who you have in this game?
I'm going to make a clean sweep. I'm going to go with the Rams as well. The Ravens once wanted defense that played really well. It's crap this year. Without Jackson, I just don't see it.
All right. Let's go again. We're going to Monday night. So, again, we got two Monday night games, it looks like.
We got the
Yeah,
Sunday
mhm.
night. I think you got the Sunday night game, right?
Yeah, we're about to do that one.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh, you did do this
Oh,
Sunday
we
night.
did.
It was the Chiefs
Yeah, we
game.
did Lions Chiefs already.
Oh, okay.
So now we got the Buffalo Bills at 4-1. Hey, 4.5-point favorites over the Falcons at 2-2. Crispy, who are we taking?
I got the Bills in this one. I think they can rebound from their loss last week, and it's only one loss. I know there's a lot more games, but I'm going Buffalo.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen's going to play pissed off. You don't lose like that to the Broncos. I've got the Bills, and I have to pray for the Falcon souls at this point.
Well, the Bills. Kevin.
Yeah, I'm with Tim there. I got to go with the Bills as well.
Mess around?
You know what they say? Nobody circles the wagons better than the Buffalo Bills. You go with the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Bills in this one again. A team that just lost on beaten streak. They're going to be kind of low peatoed, so yeah, I think they're going to take it out of the Falcons. The other Monday night game, we got the Bears 2-2 versus the Commanders 3-2. Commanders are 4.5 favorites. Tim, who are you taking?
Oh, this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a good game. I've got the Commanders, but I think this is going to be close. I'm going to leave it up to the two Bear fans to destroy any hopes that I'm going to pick that I'm wrong.
Well, let's get to one. Kevin?
Yeah, I think if the Bears want to prove that they can stick it with the North here, they need to win this game. So I'm taking the Bears.
Mess around?
This is a Hail Mary revenge game. We should have won last year if not for Tyreek Stevens messing off in the end zone talking.
Guess what? That guy's gonna have a huge game. Calling it now. Watch.
Yeah,
Huge
I'd see it
game
too.
for Stevenson.
The only thing that will stop us is stopping the run game. We've yet to stop anybody's run game all year. So shutting that down is going to be huge. But I think Chicago's going to win by 3 at the end. I think Santos is the game winner.
They're going to double doink it, but this time it's going to go in. All right.
Don't give us that deja vu.
I got the Commanders in this one, but it was a tough game. I mean, the Bears are coming off the bye week, coming off of 2 good wins. I got the Commanders, but I'm with Tim. I can see the Bears sneaking one out there. Chris, going to break the tie here.
Yeah, I got Washington in this one. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's probably going to be one of the best Monday night games we've had in a while. So with that being said, guys, there's our pick. So let's get into the big news. There's a couple trades made. One was Joe Flacco going from the Browns to the Gals, and then right before the show went on the air, it was Jags getting Newsom and Campbell going to the Browns. So, Kevin, what's your thoughts on those 2 trades?
I don't know much about those other 2, but I know that the Flacco trade to the Bengals is going to help out their quarterback situation for sure. So I think, if you got any Bengals players on your fantasy football and you haven't traded them yet, I think they're bound to break out here. So I think, Bengals could be somewhat sneaky now because you don't know if Flacco's going to play.
Yeah. Tim, what's your thoughts on the 2 trades?
I thought it was when you told me about the Flacco trade. I thought I was a little bit in shock. I think the bigger one is the fact is that probably the best corner that Cleveland had goes to Jacksonville in a pass division. I think with Newsom going to Jacksonville, I think it just basically solidifies the defense for Jacksonville, and it also pretty much tells you that Travis Hunter isn't going to play much for cornerback now. You've basically just made Travis Hunter a wide receiver by bringing in Greg Newsom.
Yeah. Yep. Chris, what are your thoughts?
No, it's interesting with the trades, especially the Flacco trade. I feel like that his retirement season, he's going to go to Pittsburgh, and then he's going to play with all 4 AFC North teams.
Okay. Nasser, what's your thoughts on the trades?
Yeah, I'm with the primary there on the Newsom trade. I think that says more about Travis Hunter than it does about anything. I think they don't think he's good enough to be a corner, so they had to go out and get someone in, or maybe not even that. Maybe they just like more so as a receiver, and they don't want him getting hurt playing on the defensive side of the ball. So, and Flacco's good for the Ravens too, because like Kevin was saying, with the receivers Jamar Chase and Higgins, they haven't been able to get off because they haven't had good quarterback play. Now they got Flacco, who's good in spurts, plays good for a while, and then he nosedives. But
I think that just writes the book that Hunter is going to be more of a wide receiver. You may get him in special situations where they need a shutdown, and maybe they think that he's can do that. The Flacco trade, I think, kind of just threw my mind. I think it kind of threw everybody just a loop. Getting benched and then getting moved. Now you got 2 rookie quarterbacks in the Browns organization with 1 game, 1.5 game. Gable's played a couple other series, but we'll see what they do with the 3rd string quarterback if they bring a veteran in there. But right now, Flacco going to the Bengals, he's got a chance to do something we talked about, beat the same team twice on 2 different teams. I think a lot of us are rooting for that, but it'll just depend on how good he connect with those guys. So, yeah. All right, so Prime Moose, what's your Prime 5?
Kind of nice that nobody kind of went to the whole anybody didn't tap into anybody's questions or in the Prime 5s. My Prime 5 is I'm going to pick it's too early to pick the Offensive Rookie of the Year. So my number 5, I've got Cam Scatabo for the Giants. He's a great change of back running back who can catch. Plus, he makes a perfect pairing with Jackson Dart, and now especially with Malik Neighbors being hurt, you basically got a weapon that coming out of the backfield that's really, really good. My number 4 is Ted McMillan for the Panthers. He's starting to make his name pretty much known in Carolina. He's looking like he's going to be the second best receiver coming out of the 2025 draft. My number 3 is Tyler Warren. Right now he leads for the Colts. Right now he leads I know he's leading the rookie tight ends in yards. In tight ends in yards, but he's also what he's doing is he's making himself to be a versatile player coming out of the backfield, lining up in different positions. He's lined up so far this year. He's lined up as a slot receiver, a tight end, a quarterback, a running back. So it's going to be interesting to watch. My number 2 is Ashton Ginty for the Raiders. I think this guy's the only bright spot that Las Vegas has had. He's had multiple 100-yard from scrimmage games that has no line. It's fun to watch because I think he had 45 yards from scrimmage on the first drive last week. I think they don't utilize him enough. But my number 1 is Emeka Egbuka from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The guy has stepped up to be a solid number 1 wide receiver, especially now that you got Chris Godwin and Evans hurt. I think he's done exactly what he was asked of, and it's rare from an Ohio State wide receiver that he does these things. But I'm impressed with Egbuka. Each week he just seems like he's showing more improvement, and he's been amazing so far. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yep. No, that's a good prime 5. Yeah, all those guys have a great shot. I think a lot of people at the beginning of the year thought Gentry was going to be hands down runaway rookie of the year. I think it's kind of a level playing field right now. So, Kevin, what do you think of that prime 5?
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about it. I totally agree. I think, when we were at the draft, I wanted the Bears to draft Tyler Warren, but instead they decided to go Colson Loveland. And that guy's played 1 game. He's been injured. So I really like Colson Loveland. I just picked him up in fantasy in one of my leagues because he was a free agent. So I got lucky there. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't change anything about that list.
All right. Messer, what's your thoughts?
I like the only thing I would change. I would move Tyler Warren up to ahead of Ginty. That's the only thing I would do.
Okay. Chris, what's your thoughts?
No, that's a good list. I'm sure one of them is going to be Rookie of the Year. It just depends on, which one and how all that's determined.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe one of these quarterbacks lights it up. Gabriel gets going. I mean, you might get a couple of those guys up in the rankings there, but good list. So, all right, so let's get into the final segment, our fantasy talk. Tim, I'll start with you. How'd your fantasy team look against that awful team that you played against?
Okay, I've officially beaten the 2 people that are above me now, and over there on that side there, and then right there. Yeah, these guys. Wait, hold on. Who do I face next this week?
I don't know.
Right over there, the guy that seems to want to pick my nose during when you leave. So I'm hoping he's getting his lineups ready for this week because hey, I'm gonna ask the question: Do you want the Kevin treatment or do you want the Brandon treatment? Because if it's the Brandon treatment, you don't get Daniel Jones. But if you want the Kevin treatment, you get Daniel Jones.
You do whatever you feel is right, my friend.
Well, just so you know, mess around, you got to make a change there. You got to guy out. Make sure you make that change.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah, but mess around. Go ahead and talk your trash.
I won last week. I beat Tim Taylor. No, I beat Randy. I beat Randy Dragon Viper. And half my team was on a bye week, and one of my guys didn't even play, and he was in my starting lineup, and I still won. So I tells you how lousy Randy's team is.
All right, Kevin. I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but how'd your fantasy team look?
I don't know. It's we lose Hampton to IR. We had a starting running back that got -1 point in my lineup. We had Darren Waller on the bench with 18 points. We had Rico Dowdle on the bench for 13 points. And we practically, you could have, for example, Messround could have started his team full of, buys and probably beat me. I got beat 153 to 92. So it was a spanking. Losing Hampton's going to suck because I have no running back depth. I thought about picking up Kareem Hunt, but with the way our scoring is, he's projected 3.9 points. But he put up in my other league, he put up 26 last week because he had, 2 or 3 touchdowns. But yeah, it's going to be, we're probably end up being 3-3 next week. So when we get back, I'll be an even 500 because I don't have any running back depth, and I got receivers I can trade, but I don't have big name receivers that I could get a running back for. So it's gonna be a rough time to trade.
All right, Mr. Undefeated there, Chris. Of course, you won last week, so your team's looking pretty good. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, looking pretty good. A 5-0 record. Kind of like the other undefeated teams in the NFL. Hopefully that continues. And I know it's not going to be for like Buffalo, Philadelphia, but hopefully at week 6 it continues.
All right. So in the Midwest standings, we got Chris B at 5-0. We got Kevin and Ryan's teams both at 3-2. We got Tim and the Primetime Blitz team at 2-3. Myself 0-5. This sucks. In the West, we got Blitz Happy 4-1, tied with the Cannon Falls Bombers team at 4-1. Justin Scary team and Mess Around are both 3-2. We got Sergeant Tim's talented team at 1-4, and the Dragon Viper 0-5.
Half of them are.
So the first matchup, somebody's O is going to go unless we tie. Dragon Viper versus myself. Then we got Tim's talented team versus Ryan's Death Inn. Ryan's favored to win that one. Then we got Justin's Scary team versus Crispy Bacon, and they're looking for an upset right now. By just a few points, Justin's going to win that game. Blitz Happy versus Neighbor. J-Max favored to win that game by about 12. Mess Around and Find Out versus the Italian Turtle Hunter. Right now, Tim's win that game by about 10 points, it looks like. And then the two non-controlled teams are facing off. Right now, the Cannon Falls Bombers are favored to win that one big time. Chris just has to make some changes for Blitz, Primetime Blitz team. So that being said, guys, week 6 about ready to start here in a few hours. Tim, your final thoughts.
I still didn't know there was another. The funny thing is, I didn't know there was another. What is there? Another international game this week?
Yeah. That was the.
And there's going to be one the following week.
Yeah. I didn't know, but no, I'm excited for week
The
6.
Jets games, the international.
Oh, well, okay, then we're not missing much. Okay, cool. Because the Jets who? No, I'm excited for week 6. It's football season's they're really proving the point of any given Sunday, any team, unless you're the Jets, can win a game. I think this is I have to say it, and I believe this last year. I feel sorry for Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is doing everything he can with the Jets team. I don't know. I just feel bad for the Jets. Not so much, but just for Justin Fields. Other than that, I'm excited. Let's get this shit going.
All right. Mess around. What's your final thoughts?
I'm just happy that it's been almost 2 weeks that I've seen a Bears game, so I'm excited to see a Bears game play. Like last weekend, I didn't watch. I might have watched maybe a couple games. I watched the Patriots and Bills game, then I watched the Chiefs game, and I only caught like bits and pieces of both games. So I'm excited to watch the Bears. It's disappointing I have to wait an extra day to do so. But
all right, Kevin.
Yeah, it's gonna be good to watch the Bears again. I'm praying to God we don't do what we did last year and lose to a no-name receiver. That would suck. But other than that, I mean, like Tim said, I feel bad for Fields. I've been a firm believer that he should have stayed with the Bears. We should have paid him his 5th year instead of taking this quarterback named Caleb Williams. But yeah, I feel like if Fields was on this Bears team that we have now, Caleb's not getting sacked as much, which was, a huge problem for Fields when he played here because he had no offensive line, he had no weapons, but now all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, let's pay these people money to come here so we can draft this quarterback and set him up to, perform well, and then he performs like crap. But yeah, I think, it's going to be good. Another week of football. Hopefully I don't have another 4-10 week. That would suck.
No, you're lucky. There's only 15 games this week, so you can go 5-10 or 4-11. Let's go.
Well, how about we go 11-0? That'd be perfect.
speaking of which, how did I do last week?
You went just what did I say? Just under 500, I think. Let's see here. You went 500, 7-7, and you hit your lock.
Sweet.
Oh, all right, Crispy, your final thoughts.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week. A lot of stuff going on. You got the international games, and you got wrestling over in Australia Sunday and Monday. So early morning for both days, I guess.
Okay, I got a question. Bacon. It's going to be the bacon because it's about his brain dead owner. Okay, I know what a middle finger looks like, and I know what a thumbs look like. What in the world is he thinking? And do you think he got fined enough? He got fined $250,000.
I don't know if he got. I don't know if the fine is enough, but
I know the difference.
It's interesting. He's been. It's interesting how he's just skating it by.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, my final thoughts is just keep watching, tuning in. We got some great shows. Hopefully, everybody can make it. I know we've had some illnesses and stuff like that, but between the ropes, next week Primetime Blitz, rank them, on deck. Just keep watching them all. Got some great playoff action going on with the baseball. But with that being said, we'll see you guys all next week on Primetime Blitz. Have a good one.
There it is.